why we are so grateful that the guest we got in studio today did not make the PGA Tour.
And I'm like,
this is the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. I've got an incredible trio with a bonus. There are 3.1 of us in the room. I've got myself, Jeremy Larkin, host of the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. Jesse Paul.
Good morning, everybody.
Been my Ed McMahon for many years on the show. I've got Carson Jones.
Yeah, I kind of pushed my way in here, didn't I?
Yeah, Carson Jones, Director of Growth, Director of Operations for the Larkin Group. We're going to talk to him today about, it's really true, right? You've had a couple of attempts at the PGA Tour.
I would say attempts are a very long shot attempt, but
we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. And then the point one is Missy, who is an adorable Shih Tzu with this pink sweater on, who's cuddling on the couch next to me.
Yeah,
so there you go.
With us every day.
All right, guys. Look, it's first of all, speaking of golf in St. George, it's like what, 73 today, 73 yesterday.
Ooh,
This crap's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
that's so
guys,
good.
it was so warm yesterday. I came in, trousers, pants to work, and I had a corduroy type shirt with just a jacket. I took the jacket off because I got hot in the office. So I'm in a long sleeve corduroy shirt. And I was like, I kind of want to go walk around, but I think I'll be too hot. That was the thought I had. What is that? You're not playing golf this week. You're just working.
I don't know what's going on. My boss doesn't.
Yeah, the boss riding him hard.
Yeah.
The boss riding him hard. But guys, next week is a little something called the St. George Parade of Homes.
Yep, here it comes.
And just for fun, we will absolutely, in every way, shape, and form, be giving away some tickets. That's next week's show. So do not miss. Be on here at 8:35 a.m. How many do we want to give it away on the air? I mean, certainly a set. 2 sets?
Yeah, let's do 2.
Maybe we'll give away 2 sets. And maybe if I'm feeling really generous, we'll give away 3 sets of Parade of Homes tickets. Tickets now are what? $25 to $30? $25?
Yep.
Yeah, $25. So that's $50 that you didn't have to spend. And you can use that money to stop at Maverick in between homes, get a slice of pizza. Did you see my email this morning by chance?
It was so good.
Sent an email out this morning about a Maverick slice of pizza to our database.
What's funny is I don't know who the guy was that you were talking to, but Maverick Pizza is for a convenience store next level.
Yeah.
It is so good.
It is next level.
Breakfast burritos, it's all.
No, I know, guys. Listen, Chris Connors, that was on last week, owner of Bonru Bakery, Farmstead. This is hilarious. One time he was talking about best burritos in St. George. Top 5. He said, honestly, I'm going to put a Maverick burrito in there because how do you get that for $6?
True.
It's just incredible. Guys, so watch for the Parade of Homes show next week. We will talk about all of the data. We will answer the question, does the Parade of Homes drive the market, or does the market drive the Parade of Homes? Or is there a third factor, which is just, it's President's Day weekend and everybody comes in.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. And, but today, I really want to talk about, this is a fun episode. I've got Carson Jones here. His parents spell their name wrong. Spell Jones for us.
So Jones is supposed to be spelled Jones. Somebody down the line in my family spelled it Joens. So I have to explain that to every human I speak to.
Kind of like my last name.
And last name, Jesse
here,
Paul, which is supposed to be P-A. You'd think P-A-U-L, but it's P-O-L-L like doll.
I'm telling you, it's political.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy.
That's right.
Yeah. So, guys, Carson Jones is with us, and this is fun. This is a real estate careers life shift conversation. And, we run a real estate company. If you're picking up the show right now, I revised our Instagram bio recently. Carson and you and I talked about it.
Right.
I said, we sell homes and build 6-figure real estate careers. It is that direct. What we do at the Larkin Group, if you've driven by and you've seen our beautiful mural on the building at Tabernacle and University, that's what we do. We have helped, Jesse, we're around 2,100 transactions.
Yeah.
It's a lot of families. It's a lot of people. But what we also do is we build real estate careers, right?
Yeah.
And you've been at this, how many, 9 years?
2017. Yep.
Yeah.
9 years.
Yeah.
9 years.
So I want to talk about circuitous route that got you here as a guy who has very successfully sold a few hundred homes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Run his own real estate team, owned his own golf store, and has had a couple of glancing blows at the PGA Tour.
Right.
All right. So, and our time's tight, but this is for, if you're out there listening and you just want a great story, Carson has a great story. If you're a realtor thinking about a real estate career, I don't know, maybe we're the kind of place that you'd want to spend time in. We definitely have the best building, but that's no big deal. Carson, back us up, and let's talk about this. The first thing I'd say is, why would you even come here after, because you had success and made some good money. There's a lot of money for successful realtors. For unsuccessful realtors, it's like famine. But what caused you to come out here?
Yeah. So this past year, especially, I'd been working as a solo agent, and I got a new office right about a year ago, just trying to go solo for a bit and see what I could do. And I did fine. Really, what I started missing out on quick was having people around, having people also not only to keep me accountable, but also to run ideas off of every day. And out of the blue, I started looking around and I saw that Jeremy, you were looking to hire a potential director of operations. And I actually didn't think much of it. I knew of you and we had done some business together in the past, but I never really thought too hard about, what would it look like to be in a salaried position like this?
Well, and let me insert something really quick. Don't lose your train of thought. When I, about 90 days ago,
yeah,
I was in this conversation with our partner's Place. And one of the things you'll notice is that Carson's wearing a Place pullover. Okay. Place is, if you're a realtor, Place is the solution to most of your problems, but you don't know that right now. Okay. It's not a brokerage. It's something different, but I work with Place. They're my business partners. And I reached out and said, hey, I need a director of operations, director of growth. We're at this place where we keep selling. We sold 170 homes last year. It's a lot of homes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But we keep pinging up against this ceiling. And one of the things I want to talk about, because I want to insert some lessons for agents if they're thinking of growing their own organization. I realized we didn't have a what problem, we had a who problem. And so I reached out to Place. They helped me recruit, headhunt, and they started the headhunting. And the funny thing is that Carson came through the headhunt, which threw me off because I'm like, dude, I thought you were out selling homes. So anyway,
yeah.
But it's good context for how this even started.
It is. I mean, our first meeting, you and I, when we first met together, I left that meeting thinking like, oh, this could be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes. So did I.
Yeah. I mean,
it was like a great first date.
Yeah, so did
hey,
he.
we're both happily married, by the way.
Yeah, he called me immediately.
But there's a man crush. There's a man crush,
Totally. And I think the cool thing that both of us shared there is that I think I've been watching from the outside, the Larkin Group, and it was interesting to talk to Jeremy, see some things that we could be better at here. And I got my mind going and say, oh, we could make this thing grow real quick. And not just grow, but there's a lot of things that we could do to make this team something that people want to be here for 10, 20 years and don't just want to come and go. And one of the things that impressed me was a guy like Jesse's been here, 11 years now?
11 years. Jessica's 8.
Yeah, 8. And that's so rare for a real estate team. A lot of real estate teams, you come on a year, maybe 2 years, get your business going, and then all of a sudden you leave. And here, it's really been interesting to see that people have learned, I want to stay because this is how I'm making my business is with this group.
Well, go ahead, Jesse.
I talk about this all the time. I really believe people ask the wrong question. Most agents will say, well, hey, what's your split? And I don't think that way. I think, where am I going to be the best me I can be? And where can I be that's going to push me further than I would ever push myself?
Totally.
And what is it that I told you yesterday about Place, Jeremy? What's the greatest thing that's actually happened to you in business?
Oh, well, I mean, Place has brought me into an accountability relationship, meaning I'm a CEO, I'm an entrepreneur. Guess what I do every month with Place realtors? If you're a realtor listening, we go in and I call it a financial colonoscopy.
Yeah.
They're like, let's just see what's going on in there. We look at the P&L, every dollar spent, made, what's working, what isn't, every month. I mean, it's like, here's what I want to say for an agent who's like, I don't want to be on a team. And if you're a consumer and you're listening, you don't really understand what we're talking about. You really have two options in real estate. You can either be on your own or you can partner yourself with a group like ours, right? Agents often have this block because they go, well, I'd split my commissions. What they don't realize, Jesse, is here's what we've allowed you to do for 10 years. We've allowed you to be all of the best that you are, and we take away from him all of the nonsense that A, it's not in his wheelhouse, and B, he kind of sucks at.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Because here's
He just whisper that.
Carson, does this feel accurate? Agents get in the business because they like people and they like homes, and their friends and family said, you'd be great at this. And then what happens is somewhere along the way, they try to grow the thing or start their own organization.
Yeah.
And what happens is it takes them out of what they were great at.
Totally. And I feel like that's a little bit of what happened to me. I started a real estate team for, 4 or 5 years. I owned a real estate team. We had a partnership to start. And we had some really successful years in there. And it was interesting that when I came to talk to you, we had everything that you were saying was like, man, I've been here before. I've been through this. And in a way, it was exciting for me to say that most of the problems that you brought to me, I said, I wouldn't say I know how to fix this now, but I've been through this. I've seen what works and what doesn't work, and I would love to help you guys out. And more than that, Jeremy, day one, I realized, well, and I knew this before, just as we were working together in sales, that Jeremy knows what he's doing, but he needs to be doing what he's good at. And that's always been something that Jeremy's told me has been the problem, is that he's been taken away from doing what he's great at, and we want to get him back into that.
Yeah, dude, thank you for saying that.
That's so cool. One thing I'm thinking about as you're talking, there's nothing more powerful than you and I and him. That brainstorm and that collective of knowledge and creativity, nothing can compare to that.
Yeah.
Versus, I'm going to go do this on my own. No.
Guys, Jesse, so I'm going to quote my quote. This is mine. I got it from no one else. But real estate is the hardest, easy business in the world.
Yeah.
That's mine. And then I'm going to quote Tom Ferry. It's the loneliest people business. So what happens is, if you're a realtor, if you're considering a real estate career, or tell me, they say history doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. When you said you'd heard a lot of these issues. If you're a realtor, tell me if this sounds familiar. You go into your brokerage and it's kind of friendly. There's water cooler talk. There's a weekly sales meeting, but you you're actually on your own. And the broker says things like, hey, let me know if I can help you. But you're on your own.
Right.
Your husband, wife, dog, cat, they don't totally understand the business because they don't realize that how hard it is to work for free until something actually happens.
Right.
You're trying to prospect because you need to go get business, but you don't know how to do it. You're getting a million voices telling you, you should do YouTube, you should do Instagram, you should do direct mail, you should do email, you should do cold calling. If you're a realtor out there practicing, Carson, everything. So, look, you made this decision to come align yourself. What would have been for you and your family? And this is, again, why people join teams, right?
Yeah.
Is what did coming here alleviate for you? Now, granted, this is different. You took an actual position.
Right.
But what would you say the punchline is to ultimately why, you and your sweet wife said, yeah, I think it's a good idea?
So structure, I would say structure is the biggest thing, and not just the structure of having a schedule throughout my week that I needed to follow, but more a structure of the team in general. And even though I'm not going to be an agent who comes in here to just sell 100 homes by myself, it's a life structure, and it's also a structure of people, right? And I'm working with people where they can count on me and I can count on them. Oh, and it's hard to live a life whether you need help or whether somebody else needs help, to just be on your own and not have anybody to help or not have anybody to help you. And so I've loved having the opportunity right off the bat to get a phone call at 6, 7 o'clock at night, just somebody needing a couple quick ideas or a couple quick questions. And then for me, you and I will send each other a polo, just talking about life. And
basically daily. Jesse and I talk daily. Well, and Carson, here's the thing. Like, we have a group chat for the whole team.
Yeah.
Hey, can someone take my pond shift? Agents get to come in and take the new leads during these shifts.
Right.
Hey, can somebody help me with a contract? Hey, can somebody open a door? The problem with you at your brokerage alone is, I'm sorry, guys, it just doesn't exist. I want to talk about golf really quick. It's 8:50. We've got about 10 minutes. There's this backstory as you got into golf.
Yeah.
You started playing when?
About 3 years old.
Yeah. 3 years old. Oh, wow. And then and I'm going to fast forward really quick, right? So let's look at maybe 18 to how you end up in real estate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what did golf look like for you at that point?
So junior year of high school, I was all state. I came very close to winning.
Colorado, right?
Yeah, Colorado. Came very close to winning the state championship. Had one really bad hole that screwed that whole thing up. But that was when I really started believing I've got some talent in this sport. And so I went to college in Colorado, Colorado Springs for a year. Played golf down there, actually in a professional program. I couldn't do NCAA because I had already turned professional. But they had a professional golf program. So I played some tournaments there. Eventually moved to Half Moon Bay, California. Was the assistant professional at the Ritz-Carlton golf course there.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, I loved it. And we'll be there in a few weeks. I can't wait. So loved living on the ocean, playing golf out there. And was trying to make it, but you quickly realize how the skill level differences, right? You play in a local men's club compared to playing against real professional golfers. And I wasn't playing against PGA Tour professional golfers. I was playing against guys like myself who were trying to make it. And it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game. If you're not shooting mid 60s, then you might as well just be in the office working.
And the golfers listening today, they know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
You were cruising along. You obviously met your wife, who's outrageous. She was they have such a fun story. She was working at Subway, and he'd go to Subway.
Yep.
They were young. They were kids, right? And today they have 2 darling kids. Eventually you came to say, how did the golf store? I mean, 2 things. You had a couple. Did you do 2 times, or trying to make the tour qualifying, or 1?
Oh, I've tried to qualify many times. I mean, I do U.S. Open qualifiers almost every year still. And consistently I've been trying to qualify, but qualifying for the PGA Tour is less about one opportunity. It's more about 20 to 50 opportunities and just trying to take advantage at the right time.
What's the hardest part? Single thing it's easy to say, well, I wasn't good enough, or they're better than me. What is the hardest part when you go to one of those qualifiers?
The hardest part is figuring out that what you practice every day can be done. You just have to get out of your mind that now I'm suddenly trying to qualify for the PGA Tour. and you start thinking about the magnitude of what you're trying to do, and gets in your head. And actually, the funny thing is, now is probably the time that I have the best mental game in my career. I've just grown up a little bit.
Sure.
But as a kid, I would let it get to my head so much, get to my ego, and start to think, oh yeah, I'm gonna be on the PGA Tour. Oh great, you just shot an 85 in your tournament because you're thinking about that the whole time.
Oh, I mean, I used to throw clubs when I was younger.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't none of that stuff anymore. Yeah. Now I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I realize this is a condensed version. You guys came to St. George in 2017.
Yes.
Yeah.
2016.
What was the golf shop?
So the golf shop was originally called Butler Golf, and owned by a gentleman named David Butler. I bought that golf store from him in 2014. I bought that golf store from him. Ran it for 2 years in the Bay Area. Ran it for 2 years here in St. George. We just got priced out of the Bay Area, and we decided, my family had moved here to St. George, so we came here. And it was making extremely expensive golf clubs, Japanese golf clubs, Miura and Honma. Those were my 2 main brands that I would sell. But you're talking a set of irons could be between $3,000 to $5,000 just for the irons. We even have
just to go play terribly like most amateurs do.
Well, and the problem with that is then people would come to you and say, "Hey, I just spent $5,000 on these. Why didn't I shoot a 60?"
I thought this was going to fix my game, dude.
Yeah. So,
how does that relate to real estate?
Oh my gosh! I bought your system. Well, I thought the system was going to fix me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Realtors.
So I did that until I got my real estate license. And honestly, after about 3.5 to 4 months of being in real estate, I realized, like, oh, this is it. This is the way. So I continued with the golf store for a little bit, but throughout 2018, I really started to settle into to real estate and start to phase out of the golf industry.
Wow, life. Nobody thinks about a real estate career. Very few people think about a real estate career as the end goal.
Yeah.
almost everyone accidentally got here.
Yeah.
You,
I did.
me, you. And isn't that funny? Because it's not the kind of thing where you're like, well, and I went to school. It was like firefighter, police officer, accountant, or real estate agent. That's not a thing people think about.
Yeah.
Right. And it's an interesting industry because if you're listening as a consumer or as a realtor, the barrier to entry is really low. My joke is that, hey, somebody's having a disaster out here. There goes the fire department. My joke is that it's so low that the problem with the barrier to entry is it's so low that you actually trip on it, right? And most agents do trip. They trip and fall on their face. It looks so easy.
Yeah, from the outside it does.
That they fail.
Yeah,
and I actually think the perception of how easy it is to realtors is why they fail.
Right.
They don't.
Everybody.
Yeah, they don't take it nearly seriously enough to make it work. I mean, and so because the barrier of entry is low, you have a lot of competition. And one of the things is that, you have a lot of competition from people who are like marginally part-time.
Yeah.
They sell a home or two a year. Well, if you have 500 agents like that in the marketplace and they each do a transaction, that's 500 transactions that were pulled from the pool for the full-time practitioners who are like, hey man, I get up 8-10 hours a day or whatever the number is, and my whole life is about serving my real estate clientele. I study the market. I study the data. I study marketing techniques and tactics and what's working and what's not. I bust my butt making phone calls, knocking doors, hosting open houses. It's a tricky business.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And the funny thing is, same thing with golf. Golf is the same way, especially ever since COVID. So many people have gotten into golf.
Yeah.
Thinking, I could do what Scotty Scheffler's doing. Right. And that's real estate. Real estate's the same way. You look at it, think it's easy money. And we did that actually yesterday on our team. We had 2 agents on our team do 1,000 dials yesterday.
1,000 dials, a little challenge.
Yeah. And
phone dials to like literally circle prospecting, like calling neighborhoods.
Yeah. And I'm proud of Alyssa for that. So Alyssa had a specific conversation that she got a little bit. It's
hilarious. The guy said, my last agent, you must be a new agent if you're making these calls. My last agent said, anyone who does this is an idiot.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
But she handled it great. And from now on, she's going to look at that and say, hey, if this is as bad as it gets, I could do this.
Yeah. In our final 2 minutes, I'll tell you a funny story about that. This dialogue went on. She's young and spunky. These kids are in their 20s, these two. I'm calling them kids.
Yeah.
And they both made 1,000 dials. Took them about 6 to 6.5 hours on a 3-line dialer.
That's pretty good that they did that quick.
Conversation so friendly. Hey, I'm calling your neighborhood. We sold the home, which we had right in the neighborhood. I'm not selling anything today, but other buyers have been looking. Have you guys considered selling your home?
Right.
And, it takes a lot of courage. And guys, here's what's crazy. I'm going to say something that I really know. It's a lot easier to do landscape or hard labor for 6 hours than it is to make 1,000 phone calls for 6 hours.
Yeah.
I can't explain this to the outside population, what this does to you, right? Some days I honestly wish I just mowed lawns for a living. So, because it takes a toll, but we do this as a conditioning exercise. So guys, Carson Jones, Director of Operations, Director of Growth. Thanks for coming on, man.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Jesse Paul, guys.
Thanks for having us.
If you, if you're a realtor and you want to have a conversation, look up the Larkin Group on Google, or actually, we have a website. It's called joinlarkingroup.com, joinlarkingroup.com. We're happy to have this conversation. If you're a consumer wanting to buy or sell, that's what we do. Right? We eat, sleep, and drink this stuff right at the corner of Tabernacle and University downtown. You can walk right in our door, and lots of people do. I've listed multiple homes for people who just walked in. That's it. Jeremy Larkin for the Larkin Group, KW Realty, over and out.